So off on a little adventure to Pen-y-Ghent today. Plan is to do Pen-y-Ghent twice round, so it works out at basically 12 miles. It's a little circular route that I've done before. Just nice to just get back out in the mountains a little bit and just enjoy the trail again. Right then, we've arrived at, well, Horton in Ribblesdale it is, bottom of Pen-y-Ghent. So first stop now, it's about an hour and a half drive, so toilets. Let's go. Okay, so about ready to go. So we've got water one side on the vest, gels and flapjack this side. We've got the terrible shades, so I'm some sort of poor person's Terminator. Sometimes I think these bits are the hardest bits, you know, just like little roads that just go between the mountains. Now the official kind of start off Pen-y-Ghent, first little farmyard, which is the first official gate, and it's a fairly steep up on this first little section. As you can see, first bit of the ascent, it's fairly technical on the way up, but I mean basically just little slabs to follow. A little bit tricky on the run side, can be done, but we're not going to go wild today. So let's get back into a bit of a stride, a little bit of running up the steps. As you can hear, heart rate, well, certainly breathing rate, kind of shot up a little bit. Yeah, heart rate up at 179, a little bit higher than we need it right now. So always these little lessons, sort of reminders, just to pull back and make sure we get the best out of the total experience. Next up, coming up into another little climb section. So just hitting the steps again, get a little bit of a trot on, get our breathing rate back now. Beautiful scenery, a little look around, lovely little quarry over that end. So it's my little point of reference if I've ever got a little bit discombobulated when it comes to navigation, which is me quite a lot. So here we go, up the second set of main stairs here. This is a bit more has been done on this since I was last here. This is probably, I don't know, was it about 4 or 5 months ago maybe? So it's lovely to see the work that's gone into it. It looks solid. First bit of mild banter with some walkers. Again, just what I love about being on trails. You know, like this sort of stuff where people, as they go and they hike them, see you out running, they're like, are you being serious? And it's a lovely feeling, to be fair. It's something I'm sure they could do as well. But yeah, I think it's same one of them. So back a little bit ago, I remember hiking up here and thinking, how are people running this? And the answer is just that real gradual build to stuff, getting out hiking a little bit more, and then starting to push sections a little bit, you know, start to challenge the body a bit more, start to run some of the downs maybe, some of the flat bits, and again, like even on the ups, like now, I'm walking, you know, it's not running the whole thing, it's being strategic in terms of where you place those efforts, which is a big difference, well, compared to road running. You just have to think about that course a little bit more. That's sometimes where recce's are, you know, that bit more important when it comes to trail, so you can kind of really figure that course out and then build out a race plan from there. It's like this, so you've either got a bit more of like a sheer climb or just round to the side, a little bit steadier, a little bit kind of, obviously, kind of little stones. Just got to watch in terms of obviously an ankle perspective, just looking where you're going, probably not filming a video at the same time, you know, all the big stuff. So we're up this little climb now, getting up to the top, so it's a little dig up, and then it gets a little bit similar to Malham where we're across some of those bigger flatter stones, and again just hopping across the rocks. So we are 17.5 minutes in, roughly I'd say about halfway. You can see behind up to the summit, two of them ones that always looks a lot closer than it is. So what we've done, a little bit of kind of walking midway, again just let the heart rate settle down, So using these videos as a little bit of a, whoops, did the gate right first, bit of a talk test for myself as well. So kind of assessing the breathing rate a little bit basically. As you can probably hear, it starts to settle a little bit. Heart rate's still relatively high, but I'm not massively concerned on heart rate for today. It's more about just getting out there, experiencing it, you know, feeling how does this feel compared to, you know, previous runs that I've done up here. Just hitting the steps now. So little insight. So these are again kind of a little bit deceptive. These look like such easy terrain, but when you run them, you just tend to lose that spring a little bit, obviously with the ascent. But if you have it up by, if I just zoom out, using the magic of a stick. It's just awesome scenery, and you can see a little bit of a pack of walkers up front. So next port of call, again something a bit psychological. I'm going to catch up to those guys, have a couple of words, and then move on from there. Always nice to see a bit of downhill, isn't it? Especially on your way up. Had that, innit? So, a little bit of running, as you can hear. Just getting the breath back a little bit. Nothing too heavy. Just letting the body tick over. Just getting it ready for the next little dig. So a little bit of a climb back up, and then we hit a really steep section up to the main ledge before the last push on for summit. There's things you forget about here is just been wiping down my glasses. Again, just, you know, sweat accumulation, making sure taking out plenty of fluids. I'm not at a point yet where I need to think about refueling. Usually I'll get a little bit of something up inside, at the summit. So we'll save it for that. Right, moving through. A little bit of climbing up the stairs. So fairly steep, these ones. Not ridiculous, but then we move on. As you can see, it's in the background. A little bit of a flatter path here. Just a slight incline on it. Again, it's these little bits where temptations to push on a bit. And there's times obviously to do that. But today, it's just getting out there, figuring out where we're at a little bit, getting some timings down, you know, seeing how the body's feeling. So it gives us a bit of a baseline to work from before I kind of push on towards the Yorkshire in October. So hoping to get some summer trail races in, just to help really, you know, get the body again really used to that terrain, be in that racing environment. Again, even races in trail, just that little bit more different to being on the road as well. So just getting used to that. It tends to be, nicely enough, a lot more relaxed, I found. And it's, although obviously like pacing can still be very important, it's not the same as say like a road marathon where people can get sometimes quite aggressive with it. And yeah, it's not great for some of the race participants. So it's really nice to kind of have that mixture of races too. So a little bit more technical for the climb here now. Again, just keeping in walking pace for now. When I say put walking pace, obviously again, sometimes we're pulling back, sometimes we're pushing on that little bit quicker so that we get a decent training effect out of it as well. But again, just getting the legs used to this sort of climbing, this sort of terrain, super important right now. So now you can see from here what you can see there, but we've got a bit more of a kind of steep ascent on the steps. Here, steep here, into a bit more of a scramble, moving up, beautiful scenes behind us. You can see a little bit windy out here at least. So from the ledge now, again, nice kind of steep ascent. On some approach, just a little steep section. So we're at the top, getting a little drag up. Surprise! Little path. Looks like nothing at this point. You're feeling the legs a little bit. It's a little bit burny. It's a breathing rate. Heart rate's still up. So yeah, push on a little bit again. let things settle a tad. I'm not pushing up for time specifically today, so just focus on getting the breath back. Woo. Probably easy if I don't have to talk. See you up there. Swallow the wind down a little bit. Bit of view appreciation. Here we go. Beautiful. Right at the summit. Look. Try and prove it on you. Well, lads on the way up. It's having a bit of a mess about. They said that they were going to beat me to the top. So they're roughly about 10 minutes behind at the minute, I think. Not that competitive. Right, start a bit descending. There's always a funny one, this. Stairs on the descent. Got this weird like depth perception thing where you're like, am I actually going to hit this step or not? Just got to do it super quick. So I'm starting to flatten out a little bit more now at the bottom of the other side of Pen-y-Ghent. So I'm quite lucky, like, obviously with fresh legs, I quite like descending. Not too bad at it, you know, heart rate drops right down. I feel like I can just kind of glide down the hills a little bit more. And we've got a big old group coming up. So it might be on a bit of a trip, if you can see them. So let's see what they're about. Differences in generations there. One of the first things I got when I run past was a group of like school kids essentially. First thing he asked, is this on YouTube? Yes, it is. It's just a little bit at the bottom where you start to transition out of Pen-y-Ghent up towards Whernside. It's a little bit of a climb back up. Usually people that you see climbing up there are out for all three. I remember like first time walking it, I kind of got over Pen-y-Ghent like relatively quickly. People had obviously told us, you know, oh, it can take basically like say 10 to 12 hours, you know, to do all three and stuff. Kind of looking at our watch going, how? Like, we got over that well quick. And then the rest of the day unfolds and you go, ah, okay, I see how this takes 10 to 12 hours. Obviously it can be done quicker. Obviously if you're hiking it, if you're running it, obviously it can be a bit quicker again. Excuse me, I think, was it last summer I think it was? I managed to kind of get it in, I think it was 5:20 I want to say off the top of my head. I'll have a look anyway, I'll have a look on Strava and see what it was. So obviously it can be done a bit quicker as well, but what a lovely thing to do, you know, like what a way to spend your day. It's fantastic. And you know what, you meet some absolute legends on the way. Just chatting to a lad at the top of Pen-y-Ghent there at the summit, just asking about basically if this was going to be on YouTube and stuff, and it's just nice, isn't it? Like, just nice showing an interest in people's stuff. You know, he was out to do all threes. I think he was hiking. So my memory is absolutely appalling. I think he was hiking all three today. I think it's the first time he was doing it. So we were just kind of chatting about some of the bits on the rest of the route and stuff as well. So yeah, hopefully they have a, well, if you're watching this as well, hopefully you had a fantastic day out. So if you are doing say like Pen-y-Ghent, coming off Pen-y-Ghent and just doing it itself, you get to this sign, get my head out of the way. You can see this sign here. So essentially Pen-y-Ghent, Whernside, you carry on up there, up the hill, and then you can, there's a gate, get that gate shot, this gate here, where you can turn off, and then it brings you into this little path which cuts across. So you've got Pen-y-Ghent there on the left, into the little path here, which essentially takes you back down into the kind of village of Portman in Ribblesdale, where the car parks are and stuff. So we're just going to have a little jog around here, drop back down into there, might have a quick wee break, and then back up for round 2. Come through the last little gate before we drop back down onto the main road. So back out into the village, start to see the houses now at the side. You can see it's a little bit further down there as well. You can look across to see obviously some of the different mountains as well across the 3 peaks. Out there in la distance, my French lesson for the day. So we've got the quarry again. If you remember my little point of reference, kind of straight ahead, it tells me we're going the right way. Navigation is pretty poor at the minute for me. Definitely something that I need to work on, especially if we're going to be looking at more of these, you know, ultra distant races. Certainly, like I did Lady Bower 50k last year, which was a great race to be fair, and it was really well set up. And I think anyone that wants to do their first intro into ultra distance running, but is, you know, maybe that little bit more navigationally challenged, shall we say, like me, turn this round. Yeah, I think it's a great race. It's super easy to follow. You know, there's always people about. It is really well marshalled. They were awesome. They're really supportive. Obviously, again, these are all volunteers as well. Really good aid stations. So yeah, highly recommended if it's something that you're looking at. It's kind of October time, so it's a lovely time of year to get some nice kind of like easy, nice summer training in on trails as well to help yourself get ready for it. So yeah, highly recommend. Yeah, back out at the main road. So it kind of opens up from there. If you just take a look behind from where we've just come from. So I'm here, so coming out the bottom there where it says the old vicarage, that's where we are at the bottom. We're going to come out back onto the main road. We're all clear. So we're just going to loop back round, back onto the main road, just along a little bit. It's not long to be fair, it's probably what, 500 metres or so. So, because it's taken time a little bit on the first round. So we are, what are we? We're now at 19. So not too bad. So just outside the church now. Lovely round here. It's so nice, isn't it? As you can see, if you have a look into the distance in a sec, we'll see Pen-y-Ghent again. That bad boy up there in the distance. Yeah, so really nice run actually today. Again, just something where it's not massively hard, but it's hard enough for now, if you know what I mean. So, I mean, in terms of like sort of steps, what have we done? 24,000 steps. It's now 1:45, which means that I have to think about, right, I need to get back in time for like picking the kids up and stuff, with obviously with an hour and a half drive to get back. So what would it be? 1:45. So 2:15 in theory should get back, so enough time for a bit of a shower, a bit of food, and then set off to pick the kids up at 3, so that's all sound. So now what I've got here is, just looking at, I've got these in the car ready to go. I've got these little Trek bars, they're not tons of protein, but 9 grams of protein. Got a couple of them. I might just have one for now to be fair, but I've got, what have we got? Cocoa oat, and I've got salted caramel. So little flapjacks basically, so they're quite nice, just something with a bit more substance to have a munch on the way home. And then what I'm going to do as well is I always like to stop off for a bit of a chocolate milk, because it's just nice, isn't it? Again, a little bit of protein in there, probably not tons, but just enough, you know, just to help in terms of like to facilitate that start off on recovery a little bit better. And now I'll make sure when I get my next meal in that the protein is a little bit more of a focus, just going to replenish some carbohydrates a little bit as well, more there now. So yeah, all in all, love that session. It's so nice to do, and it's one of my favourite ways to spend a Friday, I think, at the minute. So especially when the weather's like this, so fantastic. I hope that you've liked the video. I'm going to be talking obviously through some of my sessions in you know, what I'm training for, what I'm building up to, but also going through some of the details from a coaching perspective as well, of different things to be thinking of, different things from a preparation standpoint, how you can get the best out of your performance, your training, some different ideas around obviously how you can manage training within real life as well, is the whole point in this. So hope you've really liked the video. Let's say, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, drop us a comment, especially if you were the lovely people that I've met today on this run as well. Drop us a comment and let me know that you were there. It's fantastic to meet you all, and I hope you had a fantastic day. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you soon.